Winners practice until they get it right. Champions practice until they can't get it wrong.
That's RJ, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
And that's when I started to change my style of teaching after I saw this. I repeat and practice and do things over and over, like the beaded topper, which the volumizer and the enhancer, the lace front one. I remember teaching you. I remember right before I taught you, I learned, and the guy who taught me, I didn't do exactly what he said, but I did a version of it. And he said, the way you're going to learn this, because I wasn't that good at it the first day, he said, the way you're going to learn this is to put it on this mannequin head twice a day for 2 weeks. And I was like, whoo, that's a lot. So I did it once a day for 1 week. But at that point, I was good. And I was like, oh. So what I did was I put this thing on this mannequin head. And that's the part, like with the round brushing, where Alexis got good. It's what I did is first of all, I'm doing a mannequin. Who cares if I screw up? I'm not going to hurt her. She's not going to complain. She's going to stay in a dark closet till I see her next. She's not going to, should be no fears how I feel. So you know how I go into it? My mindset is not like, God, I hope I do this good. I hope I'm fast. My mindset is, I got 3 hours this morning. That's the time I gave for it. It's going to probably only take me about an hour or less. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it bad. I'm not even trying to do it good because I don't want to put all that pressure on myself. I say, you know what? I'm just
got to do it.
Yeah, I'm just doing it. And I trust the process that after I got it in, I was even thinking I was going to put it on and take it off that day. But by the time I got it on the first day, I was like, I'm done. This was so freaking hard. I don't even want to do it again. So I'm just going to stop. And then what I did was I set a time each day, or I shouldn't say a time, when I got to work, because I didn't have to be to work at a certain time these days because I work from the office on my phone. And a lot of the work I can do on my phone wherever, like I'm home right now. So my goal was I do go to the office almost every day of the week, at least 5 days a week. And when I'm there, the first thing I'm going to do when I get there is do this beaded topper. And so what I did was I go in, I set up a tripod. I usually am there pretty early in the morning because I wake up early naturally. And I had it on that tripod. I pulled it out the closet and I got my tool and I remove it and then put it back on. I mean, I have to remove it. It's on. So I remove it. And so I got better at removing. And then I loaded up my tools, put the beads on, and I replaced it and put it on that. And the first time it was so crooked. There were bubbles and bumps in it. It was just terrible. And then I did it a second time and it was still pretty bad. and then I don't remember when, but by the third or fourth time, I was like, oh, I see the angle that I'm sticking this needle at. I'm pulling hair too close to here and it's puckering it. And then the other one, I was pulling the hair from too far and I was getting the hair at a bad angle to hold it. So I started learning like if I fold it down, the pocket or the hole is going to end up right here. That's where I need to be pulling hair from. So it just starts coming to you. And it's not things you can teach. It's not things that they could teach me. It was things that just come from experience. And how do you get experience? Repping your freaking face off. Reps. Now, I could choose to put it on, take it off all day long, and I'd get good by the end of the day or the next day. But I wasn't in a hurry. I didn't have a client. But for those of you that are getting ready to do an extension client, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 days from now, I would be doing that service on a mannequin or a friend or my partner every day, maybe every other hour until I got it. I would just do it 4, 5, 6 times in a row. Put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, and take the pressure away. Doesn't matter how good. Do it bad. Then do it bad again. Then do it bad again until it starts looking a little better. And you're like, oh, I'm starting to get it. You will just get better if you do it. I can't see the comments if there are any.
I was just going to say, this is a good comment. Winners practice until they get it right. Champions practice until they can't get it wrong.
That's RJ, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
I've heard it.
But it's true. I mean, you look at any sports analogy in any way. Darren actually told me this. Darren told me this 15, almost 20 years ago now. Said that even the professional players, the sport team players, doesn't matter what sport it is, they practice 40 hours a week or more for a 1 or 2 hour game on Sunday. They practice all week like a full-time job and then some with overtime just for a quick hour or two on game day. And the person who practices the hardest, that's who wins.
Right.
That's your champions.
Yep. And what I always found interesting is some of the best, God, I wish I remember exactly which one. I remember it was a basketball player guy one time, one of the stars or like best players was talking about how much more he practiced than everybody else. And it wasn't much. It was just an extra 10, 15 minutes after practice. He did a little extra. And so can you imagine what that adds up to at the end of each week? Depending on if it's 5 or 7 days of practice, that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, it's almost an hour more than everybody else by the end of the week. But it might just, and the thing about that 10 minutes is when you're practicing with everybody else, let's say it's just an hour and you're practicing, maybe you're not a professional and you're doing it 40 hours a week. Maybe you're just doing it an hour in the evening after school or whatever, but you're practicing with the whole team. And so you're not getting personal practice. And so then you stop and you just throw the ball at the basket for 10 extra minutes. It's just all 10 minutes, or learning some new dribble technique. You get better at that one thing that you're practicing, and that's how you beat everybody else on the court. And I'm not a big sports guy, so I know some of my terminology might be off, but it's like anything else. I like that. You practice so you can't get it wrong. That's exactly what it is. I'll tell you what, Master Grayson is what we call Jude in the karate world. So Master Grayson, because he's got this level of achievement in the karate world, and with Carson, he's got the levels of difficulty are hard to put how do you put a number on it, or how do you gauge when can you add this particular throw up in the air, the bow staff spins in the air, he spins around and maybe catches it from between his legs or catches it at all anywhere. And so the moves have difficulty layers and levels, and it doesn't, you can't just level them, because each kid some kids can do the harder ones easier than the other ones because of their
Sure.
So what the measurement is he says, throw this move and catch it. And if you can do it 20 times without messing up or missing, you can use it in a competition.
Okay.
So to me, that's the measurement for you. You're measuring yourself. Can you do something in a certain amount of time or amount of times? And so if you can catch it 20 times, we'll add it to your form, and then you'll be competitive. And that means you're hardly ever going to mess up, because that's the champion level, practicing till you just can't get it wrong. Because I'll watch these kids throw this bow staff in the air, spin around 3 times fast, and then catch it. And they don't all catch it perfectly. Sometimes I see them looking, and they're getting it where it's almost going to be missed, and they catch it here. Some of them didn't, they threw it a little slower, so they catch it before it gets that whole spin. But it's the things you can't teach, like me with the where to grab the hair. They start learning when they spin around. Sometimes they spin around and they're waiting because they threw it too high.
They spun around so fast. Yeah, right.
They spun around so fast and threw the bow staff so high, they're just waiting. But it still counts, because while they're spinning, they're starting to realize, like, oh, I threw it high. I could probably spin a little slower. And you wouldn't think that when it's all happened, like, boom, you're still adjusting in the spin, slowing the spin down, slowing the catch down, or knowing, like, oh, I overthrew. It's going to be here when I catch it. And they just do it, and it looks so smooth. But you start to notice the slight little differences, because you can adjust on the fly when you're a champion. And so that's what practice does for you. It gets you so good.